right, Sean Patel here with undefeated featherweight Bruce Shushu Carrington, WBC interim champ, looking to stamp himself as the full-fledged WBC featherweight champion, Madison Square Garden next Saturday, man, against Carlos Castro. Bruce, man, we talked about it a little bit while you were training, but is this the best, most intense training camp? Is this kind of opportunity to be a full-fledged world champion bringing something different out of you?
100%. 100%. I think I'm one of those guys, and I'm continuing to prove to myself and show myself that I'm one of those guys that show up when the time is the most important. Like what I'm saying, like when the pressure is there and the lights are bright, I perform in those type of situations, the most. And my training, my mentality, as I mentioned before, it's just on another level. And I'm just gonna keep striving to get stronger and better and smarter each and every fight. That growth is just gonna be continuous, and I just can't wait for January 31st.
Carlos Castro, man, did you feel he did enough to actually beat Stephen Fulton? Should he already be WBC featherweight champ?
There's an argument. My opinion, I feel like it was close. I wouldn't even be mad with a draw just because of the fact that, yeah, he dropped Fulton and he was pretty active, and he hurt him in the last round as well too. And not the last round, but late in the fight. But Fulton, he did a lot of work getting those rounds back as well. Like, Fulton does a good job at snapping guys' heads back and getting the judges, attention with those type of shots. So I feel like you would give a lot of those close rounds to Stephen Fulton because you would sway to his end because he's throwing the effective shots. So him winning the fight in terms of Stephen Fulton, I don't disagree with it, but I wouldn't have been mad with a draw. I don't think that Carlos Castro did enough to win that fight, but it was very close.
He's a Mexican-American fighter, but doesn't have that typical Mexican style. He keeps it long. He moves a lot.
Yeah.
What do you think about that and how that matches up with your style?
I think that I don't think it matches very well with my style. I think that I kind of thrive in like situations like that, like with styles like his. And even if he tries to box with me, that's not the best game plan for him either. I think that with my IQ with boxing and you guys have seen me fighting the inside as well too. Like, I feel like I'm an all-around fighter, and I'm gonna be a nightmare for him on that day.
Yeah. What do you think? I know you can't give away too much, but what do you think will be different about you, or next level about you compared to the Matias Hayda fighter or Sagawa or just any of these guys that you fought?
I'm gonna be like, I want to use a guy like this, a guy with his resume, a guy with, that's on this level, to show like I'm gonna be 10 steps ahead of him. I'm gonna be, I'm gonna just show that there's complete level difference between a guy like me and a guy like him, to show like I belong on this level. A lot of people are having questions like, oh, is he ready for the title? Is he ready for this? Is he ready for that? I'm gonna prove that with showing the gap between me and Castro. I feel like at this point, I could have taken an easier fight. There was different offers that was on the table for guys that were, lesser known, still kind of like, pretty formidable, but still like, lesser known. And I'm just like, nah, I want to fight Carlos Castro. And guys are like, sure, you want to fight Carlos Castro? I'm like, yes. Like, I want to fight a guy like him. I want to test myself. I don't want to beat around the bush and, fight guys like no names and whatever, stuff like that. Like, I want to really push to gain that respect and really let people understand that I am the guy in the featherweight division. I am the guy to beat. Like, they have Rafael Espinoza as the guy right now, but that's just because like they're not doing their due diligence and really understanding the game and the work that I put in that ring each and every single time. It's gonna be a special night. It's gonna be a special night. I'm gonna prove a lot on that January 31st, and I just can't wait.
Quick aside, because you brought up Espinoza, to clarify again, that was a fight you did ask for, right?
Yeah,
you just never was able to.
I continue to ask for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm the only one asking for the fight, really. Like, I've heard recently Angelo Leo, like, they're trying to, they want to unify and stuff like that, but I've been calling out Espinoza for the longest at this point. So, yeah, man, I feel like at this point, it's going to come to a head. There's going to be more incentive to fight me because I'll have a title. And then at that point, we can definitely, put some things on like in the mix when it comes to mixing that melting pot finally in the featherweight division with Angelo Leo, Espinoza, Nick Ball. Featherweight division about to get real hot after I get this title. Real hot.
Who do you see winning that fight if they try to unify Angelo Leo and Espinoza?
Stylistically, that's a good fight, man. Because Leo, he's not just this one-dimensional type pressure fighter. He's pretty creative in there, And Rafa is too, plus his height, and then his will is like, it's a beauty to watch. He fights with his heart in his sleeve. But so does Angelo Leo. I didn't like Angelo Leo's last outing, though. Like, he got hit a lot in like a lot of repetitive shots. And,
Kameda.
Yeah, with Kameda.
Yeah.
And even Espinoza when he fought Arnold K. guy, right? And like he got hit with some repetitive shots as well. So I felt like that would be a really, really good matchup between the two. Who would win? I don't know. I honestly don't know who would win. I think the favor is Rafa just because of his height, but Angelo Leo is no joke. So I'm not sure.
When you talk about him getting touched against K Guy and Angelo against Kameda, is it similar though to what goes on when you fight a hater? Like when you're up for the big fights, it just brings something out of you. So
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to be one of those cases, and you're going to see different levels of each of those fighters. It's going to be a treat to watch. But if that fight materializes, bro, it's going to be a fan-friendly fight for sure.
So do you see this at the championship level as featherweight as step one to unifying the division?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. This is step one.
So, remember I seen you talk back to some people on Twitter, with good energy, but
it's fun.
They try to call you 30-year-old prospect.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't understand that. Like, bro, I'm literally fighting for a world title. I'm still a 30-year-old prospect. That's crazy. Yeah, I ain't 30 yet. I got 2 more years. Like, I'm 28, bro. Relax, chill. You know what I mean? But it's all funny. Like, I don't really take none of that stuff serious, bro. Like, you put yourself, too much. You put too much value in what people say. It's like, whether if it's hype, positive or negative, then it's like you kind of have this up and down instability with your emotions and kind of care too much about what people saying and stuff like that. Like, I don't really care because I know the work that I put in. I know that these people are not seeing the pain that I put in. The things I got to go through day in and day out, my daily struggles and all that, none of that stuff. They don't know me. So why should I care about what anybody says? So anybody say little things, like, I just kind of joke with them. It's funny to interact with them.
Would you agree that obviously you feel you have a multifaceted skill set, right? But would you agree counterpunching is the best of them all? Is your bread and butter?
Yeah, I think so. I think counterpunching is my bread and butter, but I like to mix it up with I like to hide it with a lot of other things, with like my jab or my inside work or a little bit of footwork here and there, a little creativity with my shots and stuff. But my counterpunching is like one of those. I think it's the most dangerous part of my game.
Have you relied on it too much at times, and not been first with
the
jab?
Definitely. I've definitely caught myself doing that a few times. But that's where we just work on those things in training camp. There's that repetition, and then it's all about just being first and learning how to make openings happen. It's not always about countering. It's about creating opportunities to counter, and then setting traps and all different type of things like that. It's just thinking outside the box sometimes.
And that's being first and last, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Initiating, forcing the counter,
exactly.
Or forcing to give you something to counter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like playing chess.
Do you expect Castro to try to not let you set, to take that away from you, to not give you stay in position to counter punches?
I am ready for that.
Yeah.
I can say I don't expect that because I don't think he doesn't really fight like that. But I'm ready for it though because I've been sparring with some guys that have been pushing me just like that, and I'm gonna always be ready. So you're not gonna catch me at a point where I'm not set. My feet are always gonna be ready to throw punches, and you do too much, you might get clipped with something.
So you don't think he moves a lot?
Castro?
Yeah, that's what.
Nah.
He moved a lot against Fulton, man.
You think so? I don't think so. I feel like Fulton was moving a lot. He was trying to catch up with Fulton, but I don't think his feet are that fast. Like he doesn't. I wouldn't say. I guess you could say he was moving a lot, but his feet aren't that fast. And Fulton was kind of pushing him back at times too, sitting in the pocket, trying to be the bigger guy in moments and stuff like that. But Castro's feet aren't that solid and aren't that fast. So, can't give him that.
I know there's a switch that turns on that people can see at the weigh-in into the fight, a certain look and expression in your face when it's time to get busy.
Yeah.
Is he getting that full? Are you knocking Carlos Castro out?
That's what you asking, for lack of better terms. I'm going in there to put on a mass class performance. If the knockout comes, the knockout comes. I'm not looking for a knockout, but I'm definitely looking, to put on an emphatic show to really break this guy down and beat his ass. That's what I really am gonna do. I feel like it's something more sinister, bro. A lot of people, they love knockouts and stuff like that, and that's beautiful to watch, but to beat a guy's ass for 12 rounds and they can't do nothing about it, like damn near I'm gonna make them quit and just mentally take them out the game. I feel like it's something more sinister about that.
Yeah, well, that's what it looks like. That sinister profile you get once the lights go on.
Yeah, definitely, and that energy is definitely gonna be there.
How's it gonna feel to fight your first full-fledged title fight, and it's in the Garden as a Brooklynite, as a Brooklyn guy?
Man, bro, like that's a dream come true. I've fought in the theater for some time. I fought about 7 times in the theater, and it's always been a pleasure to fight there. But my dream was to always fight in the big room with a Knicks play, man. And I feel like at this point, this is the perfect timing for it to happen. For me to fight in a big car like this, ring 6. For the world title, in front of my fans, man, it's like it couldn't have been written any better, bro. And it's made for me to seize the moment. So I'm gonna do just that.
May the best man win on my, whether it's you or Castro, but just my 2 cents. I could see you if you win the fight crying.
Yeah. But I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know that a lot of the emotions are gonna just be there. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna cry.
Only because at the Garden. I don't think if it was at the MGM or something. I don't think. But at the Garden, I think it might get you in your feels a little bit.
Maybe. Who knows, man? Who knows, bro? I'm not sure. Like, I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna cry. Like, that's so performative. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, me saying.
I don't think it's gonna be performative.
No, I'm saying like to say that I'm gonna cry ahead of time. That's premeditated, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm calling my shot.
Whatever, man. Like, put your bet on it, I guess. You know what I mean? But but I'm definitely just gonna let whatever emotion come over me, and that's what it's gonna be.
Let me ask you